So talk to me about Crush. Was it had to be like when you came to the territory? I feel like it was probably weird for Randy. When Crush came to the territory, it had to be weird for Bill.
Well, no, Bill was he had an allergic reaction to shrimp, so he almost died. Thank God he didn't. And we were booked, 2 months ahead of time already, and Bill was in the hospital, and they couldn't just all of a sudden cancel all those dates, so they had to bring somebody in, and that's when they brought Crush in, and Bill totally understood it, and when Bill came back, he was going to end up being an agent later, so that was kind of the plan, and Crush was going to move in. What was hard was when you had Axe and Smash together, and Axe and Smash were the ones that got over. When you bring a third person in, it's hard for that team to be over like it was without the original team. And Crush I love him. He was one of my best friends at the time, and he was a really good worker, but it was a little bit different for him to come into a team that was already, set. And he did a great job by doing it. But you know how long it takes to get over. And just because the team was over and you bring a new guy in, it doesn't make you get over. The fans are so smart. They need to look at him and go, oh yeah, we like him or we hate him, And he was thrown in a position in a really tough situation. But we ended up having some good matches, and that's when I was saying the Road Warriors came in at that time too, and that really put a halt on Demolition. I mean, they tried everything to change us back to heels, and the people liked us, and they didn't like the Road Warriors because they were from down south, and it was just a real tough situation. And if they would have let the Demolition get over again, and maybe Bill be our manager, or however they worked it, and then let the Road Warriors get over with somebody else, now you would have had two over teams and then put us together. You know what I mean? But they never did any of that. And I can't remember a lot of stuff. I've been hit so many times, and I can't remember all the details of why things happened or what happened. But yeah, it kind of just that was kind of the end of the Demolition when Bill got sick at that time, and it was sad because he was the greatest partner,
Yeah, I mean, you and Crush could have been. Let's say you guys were a better team than you and Bill. It still wouldn't have worked like you and Bill because you and Bill were Demolition.
Well, right, but at least I wish they would have gave Brian a chance to get over with me. Right. You know what I mean? And just by coming in and being one of the Demolition, you're over, but you're like the middle guy again. You're not the top guys, Right. That's kind of how I felt. But there's nothing you can do. Bill got sick, and all that happened at the time. So we're just very lucky to be in that spot for so many years. Do
you say? I mean, a lot of people are stat people. A lot of people. They Demolition were tag team champions this amount of times. You're too far into the grind to even think about, hey, Bill, we've been tag team champions for 322 days, right?
Right. We never even thought about that because back then that wasn't a thing.
Right.
I mean, why would you even think of it when nobody else thought of that? Right. It wasn't any news deals or any interviews, or the office never came up and said, hey, you've been champions for 400 days, or you know what I mean? Yeah, so we never even thought about it until after so many years went by, and then somebody says, I don't know how many days was it, 478 days or something
like that.
Yeah, somebody came up and said, you guys were champions for 478 days, now a new day is coming in, they're going to beat your deal. Well, who's New Day? I never knew who that was, but happened to be great guys,
Yeah.
And somebody's got to beat the record, so might as well be those guys.